Alrighty, hello everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. Today's gonna be a chill, laid-back episode. We're just gonna kind of talk about whatever's on our mind at the moment. I got a few topics that I want to touch on. Nothing crazy, just kind of literally what's been going on. That's not school, for me. And I know Marisabel has a few stuff that she wanted to touch on. So it's just gonna be a what's on my mind sort of episode. So pretty chill. We're sipping on some 1877s here. This one that I'm sipping on is from last night. I cracked it open and I was like, I'm gonna have a sparkling water before bed. I took like a sip and then left it on my nightstand. So I woke up and I just threw it back in the fridge. So it's very flat. But Marisol got a fresh, cracked open 1877. So hers is probably a lot more fizzy than mine.
Yeah, no, they have a lot of carbonation in them. So
yeah, mine just tastes like water. But feeling good. Feeling great. It's a Friday night. Just got back from dinner. I had a salad, but I'm stuffed. And
that thing was massive.
Yeah, it was big. My stomach's still recovering though from last night. I had Wingstop. Holy buckets. And like I posted a tweet, so a few of y'all probably saw it, but that thing was running through me like crazy. It was bad. I've never indulged like that in a long time, and so all of that fried food, I think, and the amount that I ate, like, because I got for my grandma and I so I got her like the boneless 6-piece and then with no sauce, so it was pretty much just like chicken nuggets, and then I got her a basket of fries, and I got myself a basket of fries with the 10-piece traditional original hot. And I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I knew she wasn't going to eat all of that, and so I was eating some of hers as well as some of her fries in addition to my fries, and I ate like 8 of the 10 wings. And by the end of it, I was like, man, that was good. Like, I'm stuffed. And then 30 minutes later, all of a sudden my stomach starts like, and I was like, oh fuck. So I had to face the repercussions of it last night. It was very rough. Still getting over it today.
Now I know you came over, I think around like 10:30, and it already been like an hour or two, I think, since you've eaten. And you were like, can I have a sparkling water? Like, you texted that before you came over, and I was like, yeah. Like, I don't know why you couldn't. And then you were like, man, my stomach hurts. You're like, I've already gone to the restroom like 3 times in this past hour.
It was rough. But I'm feeling better, though. I've just had to be careful with what I've been eating today. A lot of vegetables, a lot of fiber, and not much meat.
No, yeah.
But, chill day. It's the first thing that's been on my mind. But what about you, though?
Today's been pretty good too. I had to record a video for like my tutoring job that I have.
Yeah.
And what is it? Yeah, so we did that in the morning. It's been causing me a little bit of problems though, because it like the file's too big.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be like a video because we did a PowerPoint with it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure that out. But other than that, like, today's been good. I studied for the LSAT, taking that in January, and I got a 154.
Yeah, that was your goal.
Yeah, that's the goal I need to get into St. Mary's. And yeah, so I got a 154. The only thing is that it was untimed.
Yeah.
So now I need to practice doing it timed. But I feel a lot better knowing that I can do it untimed, because that means I can do it timed. I just have to build like the speed for it.
Mm-hmm. No, that's really good. I'm super proud of you. I know you texted that. I was like, damn, that's what you've been going for this whole time. And you still have like 3 months out till you're actually going to take the LSAT.
Yeah, so I have a lot of time to like build up that endurance.
Yeah.
Because it is just like mental discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you're going through the questions super fast. And I'm like, man, that's great, right?
Yeah.
And you get through half of the test, which is 4 sections.
Uh-huh.
And then the third one is like, man, my head hurts. And then I'm thinking about that the entire third section. And the fourth section, it's like my head hurts even more. And so that's why I don't do so well. Because I don't have that endurance.
You're killing it.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I'm super excited. I don't know, I saw it, right? And I was like, what? You know, no way. I was planning on getting this like 9 weeks from now. And you're telling me I got it right now on time?
Yeah.
To be fair though, I do like a section a day. So it wasn't like all back to back. But that still means I'm learning a lot more, because before I'd been doing the same thing. Like I'd do one of the 4 sections a day. One or two of them, right? Not back to back. I'd take a little break. And I'd get a 145. Yeah. And so that definitely means I know a lot more now about the test and how to like read what the test makers are doing. So I'm super excited because now I know what's happening. I'm still a little confused on some stuff, don't get me wrong. But I'm ready. Not really, but like I'm ready to keep going. Because for a while I was like, man, I'm making no improvement. And I bumped up 8 points in 2 weeks. That's the craziest thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, that's insane. I feel like you always had it in you, but because of your recent success with that moot court, I think that was like the confidence booster you need. Because I know you're talking a lot about imposter syndrome and like the feeling of, do I belong, or am I worthy enough to like pursue that? And I think you always were, and you always have been. And I think you've always, like, I think even now you're perfectly capable of getting into law school. Probably even, like, if you were already in law school, you'd be doing fine. But, you just needed that win, I think, to confirm, like, yeah, like, you know what you're doing and you deserve it.
Oh, yeah. So going to what you're saying, I talked about this last episode, I think, at the end.
Did you?
Yeah, the moot court.
I think you did, yeah. You touched on it.
I said I was going to do it the day that it came out. Well, anyways, guys, update. Me and my friend Lionel won.
I know, y'all killed it.
And I've never won anything before. So that's great. I have a trophy. It's a little gavel.
Yeah.
And in addition to like me and Lionel winning the best team, I also got best orator. So I'm getting another gavel soon.
I know. You killed it.
I was like, what? You're lying to me. I thought I was hearing wrong. And then they said our names and I was like, oh my God, we won. And then we both walked up and I was like, oh my God, I got to shake people's hands. I got to personally meet the guy for St. Mary's Law Admissions. And he's the one who actually like announced who won. And I was like, he knows my name now. And then I got to meet a judge and some other law students, some law professors at St. Mary's. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like my dream. Like I'm just super excited. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Getting into that a little bit because that was one of the things on my mind. So yeah, we did 3 rounds and we went against one team for 1 round and then another new team for the second round. And then the third round was actually the same team that we went against on the second round. Yeah. So the final round, I feel like that one I did good on, but I feel like my first one was better because I was just really excited.
Yeah.
And the second one I did really good on too because the judges, they either asked a lot of questions or asked no questions in the middle. And so the first judge, he's a law professor right now at St. Mary's. And he asked a few questions, Then the second judge I had for the second round, he was asking, it was just questions. My whole speech was me just answering his questions. And so that was really cool. And he was really like, he never gave us a chance to really talk and like say our whole spiel, So I was like, damn, I didn't even get my point across. But then I got a second chance to speak to him. So yeah, I got my point across there a little bit more. But even then, he was just asking questions, so I didn't really get to give my whole speech. And then the third round, we got another new judge, and she didn't say anything. So I got both sides of the spectrum. all questions, and then no questions, and then right in the middle.
Yeah.
And it was so fun. I feel like the guy that kept asking me questions, he really pressured me. And yeah, like I was a little nervous the first time. One of his questions, I was like, oh, I know that. Right. And I told him, then right when I finished answering that question, he asked another one. And I was like, oh my God. And then another one, and another one. And finally I was able to say one more sentence, and it was like, next one. But it was really fun. I was like, man, he got on me, but at least I know I can handle the pressure now. I didn't like crack or get nervous. I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that guy was really bringing the hammer down, especially compared to your first round.
No,
And like,
yeah.
I was there in the audience watching all 3 rounds, and it was just like, I mean, it was this day and night from what the first guy did to then what he was doing. It was, man, I was nervous for y'all. I was like, fuck, man, he was asking like hard questions, and he wouldn't even stop after asking the question. Like, you'd give the answer, and then he'd offer another rebuttal to it. Like, well, how about this? And then it was like, oh, fuck. Like,
Yeah, and then he got me because I said something, and he was like, so you would agree that they
Yeah.
weren't violating his Fourth Amendment rights? And I was like, to an extent, but in this case. And then I was like, I got it. We're done. You're done. Because my professor was like, you can say yes, to something that they answer that goes against your position,
Yeah.
but then bring it back to your point and be like, but actually, to this case, it's something else. And I think I impressed him because he would smile sometimes. Like, his voice was like very strict, right? But I could see his face because he was just looking at me. And sometimes he would smile, like when I'd answer, and he was like, well, do you know the percentage of like United States population that owns a drone? And the year of that case, right, it was 8% of United States citizens own a drone, and 15% have used a drone in their lifetime. And when I said that, he was like, I didn't think she knew that question. And I only knew it because I had to know both sides. So I had to know the Fourth Amendment, like, oh, they violated his Fourth Amendment.
Yeah.
But then I also had to know the position of his Fourth Amendment rights weren't violated. And so that really helped me. But no, that, like, all of the rounds were fun. But the second one where he was just, like, getting on me, that was the best. Because I was like, this is real life, Like, well, I mean, all of them are real life. They're all judges, or they've all like judged. But I was just glad I got to have somebody that really was being aggressive, because I told my professor, I was like, well, what if they're mean to me? Like, I need you to be mean when you're asking me questions. And she was like, they're not going to be mean to you. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, what if they're strict? And she was like, okay. And so the last round we practiced, she was a little more like aggressive, but she wasn't as aggressive as this guy.
Yeah.
I was like,
He was-
man,
he's going hard in the
CYW coach. Yeah, he was going crazy.
Yeah, I was super nervous for y'all. Like, just the intensity of the questions and how fast he was offering counter questions to your answers was insane compared to the first guy. And then, yeah, I was almost like that third judge who didn't say anything in that final round. I almost felt more nervous. Like, man, like, it's just down to like, how cold are y'all? Not even offering chances for offering answers to counter questions. It's just like, you just got to be good at what you do.
Yeah, and so that one, I was talking a little too fast, so I didn't get the full like 10 minutes that I need to talk. But I was like, you know what? I gave all my points, and that's what matters. Because last time I didn't even get to give any points, really, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was crazy. That was a crazy day. It was fun. Felt accomplished after. Yeah, I went in thinking like, man, I'm probably not going to get past like round number 1. We had to do 2, but I was thinking like, man, I'm not going to do that good. And I practiced a lot, but I was still messing up the day of. Like, I practiced in the morning because it was in the afternoon, and I was still stuttering. I wasn't talking to anybody. I was talking to my dog, and I was like, I'm going to start over. Because I was like, man, I can't do that because the day or when I would go, I wouldn't get the chance to start over. I just have to keep going. I was like, stop. I was getting mad at myself. I was like, no, come on. But yeah. No, it was really nice.
It was cool. I enjoyed seeing it.
Yeah, I wanted to watch more of them.
Hmm.
But no, my class and the UIW students that came, we all did really good.
Hmm.
And was very impressed by everybody. Because for some of them were my classmates, so we got to see each other like progress over the 8 weeks, and we all did really good.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see the UIW students progress, but I'm sure they did amazing too. I only got to see a few people, but I heard they were good. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I believe it. But yeah. No, I agree with you. I guess winning really boosted my confidence. I don't know. I'm very happy with everything right now.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing left to do, I feel like, is pass the LSAT. I think you do that, and it's guaranteed you're in.
I really hope so. Yeah, my resume, she's looking really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on my personal statement. Like, it's done, but there's a part of me that's like, well, maybe I don't want to do it on this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I've written like 5 personal statements, and the 5th one is my best one. And I've had like 2 other people look at it and be like, yeah, but you should also hit more on the why law school.
Mm-hmm.
And I know why law school. Like, I want to go because I want to help people. I want to be influential in my community. But I want to make it sound better than just 2 sentences,
Yeah.
I want to really explain and go into detail as to how I want to help my community. But they say you should go into law school not knowing what you want to do because it can change. And I don't know what type of law I want to practice. I just know that I want to support the people that don't really have that opportunity to be supported. So I know, like, as a lawyer, you can charge as much as you want to, but I want to help the people that aren't able to get, like, really good lawyers because they cost a lot. Like, I want to be a really good lawyer, but I don't want to cost a lot, And I don't know. I just want to help people. I don't know exactly what I want to do yet, whether that be helping them understand life for, excuse me, I stuttered, helping them understand, like, what are they called? Oh my God, the word just like, I lost it. Contracts. Like, if they don't understand what these contracts are saying, like, I want to help them. I don't want them to get scammed or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Or if people need a lawyer because, I don't know, they're trying to get custody of their kid. Okay, I want to help them with that. But I know I want to do civil. I don't want to do criminal, but that could also change too. So I'm not too sure which type of law I want to practice yet, but I know no matter what it is, I'm trying to give back to the people in this community. But I want it to sound better than what I just said. So that's the hard part. Like, I want it to sound good. I want to sound influential. I want to give those people that don't have a voice a voice. So yeah. I'm still figuring out a way to write it nicely. I just have all these things I want to do. But I also don't want to spread myself too thin. So it's like I need to really narrow it down as to what I'm going to talk about. So those are just a few things, but
yeah, I think that's really hard to, I guess, put into words. But I do. So I think I told you this, like how I related it to when I was trying to go into the medical field.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times it was my university peer mentor that I had at UTSA, and he was applying to dental school, or he got an interview to get into dental school.
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically like, a lot of positions within the medical field, a lot of the times they're going to ask you, like, why do you want to be in the medical field? And the most common answer is because I want to help people. Well, there's plenty of other opportunities to help people. You could volunteer, you could work for a nonprofit. Why the medical field specifically? How is helping people in this position going to be better than any of those other things? What is it that you want to do specifically that only the medical field can allow you to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of like what you were, I think, alluding to with being specific about, you know, the why you want to be in law school. What specifically is it that you want to do to help people, and like how is it that being a lawyer or practicing law is the only way that you can do that?
Yeah, well, I feel like you said, there's a lot of different ways I can give back to the community, right? But as someone who practices law, you have a lot more opportunities than you would if I just started a nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a lawyer, you understand different wording, what's happening in the law. For example, like when cases get overturned or something, right? And or if cases don't get overturned, or if they feel like it's a cruel and unusual punishment. Well, the average person, they can think that's a cruel and unusual punishment, but to really battle that sentence for their loved one, they need somebody who can understand the law and what's happening. And some people, they don't have that opportunity to get somebody who is really passionate about helping other people for less. And so I'm willing, I just want to be able to give them that voice, because some people aren't comfortable publicly speaking for their loved ones if something happens, and they need somebody who can do that, but also understands what's happening in the legal world. Because you can also speak publicly for people, but if you don't know what's being thrown at them, how are you really going to combat that? And I know, like, I could also just be a paralegal, right? But as a lawyer, I feel like you have a lot more influence. You also have the opportunity to be a judge. And as a judge, you get to, well, I guess you can do this as a lawyer too, but I see more judges doing this, right? They're able to start nonprofits too. They're able to start new programs that help people in mental health and that are dealing with substance abuse. And you can also do that as someone who just starts a nonprofit. But as a judge, you know all these people who maybe know somebody.
They have influence.
Yeah, they have influence. That's the big thing. I feel like I can start a nonprofit, but if nobody knows who I am, why are they going to donate there? Why are they going to help those people? Why are they going to feel if it's important? If you're not, well, this isn't for every case, but for me specifically, I feel like if I'm not educated in what I want to help people in, no one's going to really understand or really take it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in law, you just have more opportunities. And like you're diverse. You can help people, like I said, dealing with contracts, dealing with murder cases, dealing with child custody. You have this opportunity to understand all of that if you really wanted to. And you can change whatever you want to decide to do. But I don't know which spot I want to be in yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I know, like, yeah, sometimes I get nervous to public speak. But if it really comes down to it, I'm going to do it if someone needs that. So, yeah, basically the big thing is you have a lot of influence, you're taken more seriously, and you just get to meet a lot more people that can also help influence more change. My big thing is you have to start within. If I'm going to change anything that happens in the law, it has to be from inside. And that's the only way I can do that.
I get that. It'll give you probably the biggest opportunity or the greater opportunity to make the bigger change, as opposed to just trying to do it kind of out of nowhere. 'Cause
yeah.
You are right. Influence, knowing people, especially knowing people with money, you know, that's a big thing to the success of a nonprofit or any sort of program that somebody wants to start, especially if it's something as big as like helping people with substance abuse, and you know the resources that you would need to pour into that to actually provide a beneficial program. Like, yeah, you're gonna need a lot of money to be poured into that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and you need to have people that
are committed to that.
Well, that want to do it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, judges are the ones that, I mean, they don't always create the sentence, right? but they can't influence it. They can
Yeah.
recommend. And lawyers can do that too. So, yeah, like I said, if I'm going to make change, it has to be within. So,
No, that's pretty solid. I think you're gonna get in. Honestly, I don't want to jinx anything, right? Like knock on wood. But I feel like it's a sure thing. You just got to continue what you're doing, and it's just, at this point, it's just about taking the test, and applying.
yeah, that's the big thing. The big thing is the test. And now that I got the score I need, untimed, I know I can get it timed.
Yeah, I'm very proud of how far you've come, because
Thanks.
I've seen you. I've seen you from the beginning, and when you first started studying and first had that desire, like, yeah, I'm gonna go to school to eventually get into law. And I mean, it's been crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
ever since like your freshman year of college, you've been grinding crazy in school and just straight A's every time. Got such a high GPA. Very proud of you.
Thanks. It's been my goal. And I'm not going to like I said, I'm not going to let fear deter me from my goal. I can be scared, but I still have to do it. So,
Nah, you're gonna do good. But yeah.
yeah. Anyways, so that's why law school. I'm trying to make a difference. I don't know. I just watch so many cases that are posted on YouTube, like the actual trials and everything.
Yeah.
And I understand what they're doing now because I'm in mock trials. I'm like, oh, leading. Said hearsay. I'm like, where's the objections? But yeah, so it's something I'm passionate about. I just think I have so much I want to do within it. I just really need to define that because I know I want to help people, but everybody says that. I need to say it in a way that grabs the person who's reading my personal statement, like their attention. Like I really want to put thought into it. That's the big thing. I know why law school, but I need to grab their attention. I need to make them realize that I'm not just saying I want to help people, but I know how to help people. I already have a plan. I don't know all the logistics of it, but I know that I want to help people with mental health and all of that. So there's goals.
Yeah.
So once I write it down, we're good. We're good to go. Once I take that LSAT, we'll be ready. But that's what's been on my mind because
That's what's on your mind.
Yeah, I'm applying to law school soon, so that's what's on my mind still. Other than that, though, that's been taking up most of my thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to relax, really create a great environment for us. It's my big thing. I've been listening to audiobooks. Game changer. If you don't like reading, but you still want to learn stuff, download Libby. And if you have a library card, I think you don't even need a library card. But you log in, put in any book you want, and most of the time they're there. And I listen to them in the car if I'm not listening to a podcast or I don't feel like listening to music. You just get all this knowledge when you're driving. So
Nah, it's pretty solid.
yeah, I'm just trying to better myself. That's been the goal from like day one.
It's gonna be an ongoing thing.
It is.
The rest of our lives.
I know. But I really like bettering myself. Because I feel like if I better myself, I better us in our relationship. I better my relationship with my family and my friends. So, like you said, ongoing battle, but that's always on my mind too. Spending more time with Scout. Oh my gosh, I love him. He got a haircut the other day. He looks so handsome. He's so cute. I love him. But yeah, babe, what else has been on your mind?
Graduation is coming up pretty soon. So just kind of thinking about where I want to work. I know, like, I really want to work in like big tech, like the large technology firms and like Apple, Google, or I mean even like Verizon or not Verizon, like T-Mobile, places like that. Like I don't want to work at like stores. Like I want to work like corporate.
Yeah.
And there's some nearby offices for the various technology companies, not like the headquarters, because I don't know if I'd want to move, but they have some nearby ones, like in Austin or
There's some here, I think, in San
San
Antonio.
Marcos and stuff like that. Yeah, I haven't really looked here in San Antonio, but I know they got some stuff around, and I think it would be really cool to work at those places, um, and kind of establish myself as, I don't really know yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have an idea. Like, I know I want to be, so I'm a marketing major, and I'm focusing a lot on like the digital aspect of marketing. I really enjoy social media marketing. I'm actually taking a class about that. I'm also really enjoying the idea of doing like product marketing, especially too with like how Apple does it. And a lot of their stuff is like, they just have really not necessarily graphic intensive ads. Like, it's high production value videos of products being shot. And I'd like the idea of being involved with that and then posting it and just having people see the products presented in a way that only a company like Apple or Google or, any of those big companies could do. And so I think it would be very cool to be in that space and, work my way up eventually to some sort of management role. So there's a lot of like job fairs or internship fairs at UTSA that I still have to take advantage of and check out, because I'm at that point in my college career where like I really got to start looking at that stuff, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to graduate college and not have a job lined up yet. So prior to graduating, probably next semester, I really need to like have a job lined up, either by the end of next semester or going into my last semester of college, which would be next fall, right? I need to have a job lined up. Like, I need to. It's not like I want to, like I need to, because when I graduate, I just want to go into a job where I can immediately start making more money than I am currently. And I want to find a place that I love, and so that's why I need to start off right now looking. So that's kind of what's been on my mind. I don't really know the details of it all quite yet. Just kind of like, what am I going to do? Because it's a big decision. And it's not like I need to stay with the company, right? Like, it's not like I have to choose and then I'm just going to stick with this place for the rest of my life. Like, I have the availability to move, but I don't want to move if I can prevent that,
Mm-hmm.
or as much as I can. But that's really it for like professional or like school wise. A lot of what's been on my mind actually is like cars. And to be more specific, so I've been working on a project car. I've told a few people this, but my grandpa owns a 1988, or it's technically a 1988 and a half, because, okay, so it's a 1988 Suzuki Samurai. When the Suzuki Samurais came out in 1988, they only sent a limited amount here to the United States to be sold like at various car dealerships. And it actually was such a popular car that they had to push out in the middle of the year an entirely new batch of 88 Suzuki Samurais. And so that's why this one's technically 1988 and a half. So the 1988 and a half Suzuki Samurai, it's a little 4x4 off-road vehicle. Nothing too powerful, but it's very small. It's like a small little Jeep is the best way I could describe it, like a small little Jeep Wrangler. Very, very cool. And so I've been going over to his house. We've been fixing it up, just replacing parts here and there, like the headlights, the light caps, like for the blinker and shit like that. We replaced the starter, and there's some other stuff under the hood that we still have to replace. Things we got to clean up. I know we're gonna detail it, probably repaint it, new tires at some point, just things like that. But I've been very excited to work on it, and I've been upset because these past 2 weeks I haven't had time to go over because we've just been so busy. And so I'm really trying to go over this week and like just try and make it like an every week thing, because I hate just putting it off. But I've been busy, so what can I do? But I'm very excited to get back and keep working on it. We got some more lights to replace and put in, and then we're gonna get under the hood again and work on replacing some stuff, maybe fixing some things, a few little tweaks here and there. And then especially the interior, like there's a lot to fix on the interior. For one, it's really dirty. I kind of want to replace the carpet because it's pretty beat up, And then like the doors on the door panels, the handles, the little covers, there's just a lot of small stuff that I want to fix and replace. Maybe even touch up, like some of the vinyl can probably just touch up and then put back the same old vinyl. But it's been a very cool project car that I've really been enjoying working on, and I'm excited for it to be. It's going to be a long time before we finish it, but when it gets finished, I'm just excited to get an inspection sticker on it and then put it under my name, and then, you know, it'll be mine, and just continue to work on it, keep upgrading it, making it better. Because, you know, at some point I want to take it like off-roading, because it has 4-wheel drive and we get some nice tires on it, maybe a little 3-inch lift. Like, that's going to be nice. I can already see it. But I'm really excited. And because of my excitement with that, on YouTube, I've been looking at a lot of like car videos, what people have done with their own Suzuki Samurais. And I ended up finding this YouTube channel called Donut Media. And they got like 7 million subscribers. So they're a pretty popular channel. They have really high production value videos. And it's just about cars. And like they do like different modifications with cars and stuff like that. And so I've been really into them. And I've actually been watching them like every day. I get home and I'm just looking forward to watching a video of theirs. Not necessarily like a new video. I've been watching a lot of their old ones, but they've been releasing some new videos, and it's just, they're really good. I really enjoy watching them. And they've been getting me into the idea of doing more modifications to the Suzuki than I had originally planned. Of course, I can't do too many, especially ones that add a lot of weight, because it only has like a 1.3 liter motor, which, for those wondering, it only dishes out like 60 something horsepower, which isn't a lot. It cannot hit probably 100 miles per hour, probably not even 80 miles per hour. It's not the fastest car in the world. So that's why at some point later down the line, I'm like, yeah, I can change the engine, do a little engine swap. I am not a mechanic, so that's a very hard job, but I think it's something that would be cool that I could do at some point later in my life. With the Samurai, you know, just keep adding stuff until it's a nice little off-roader, and could even use it to commute on the road. But now I've been really into the idea of, like, at some point, I was telling you today, like we were just in the car, like buying a project car, like a small little compact, almost like a race car, and just like mod the shit out of it, like put a hydraulic e-brake in it. It has to be standard, and then do like some nice tires on it, a small lift, maybe like a spoiler, like just go crazy and just take it to the track. Like, I think that would be so fun, because that's what, you know, these guys are doing. Like, they just do these crazy modifications to these cars, and it's just so cool to see. And it makes me just want to like get under the hood, or like put a car up onto a jack and just start getting under and learning how to do these things, you know, because I mean, they make it look easy, but because they're like experts, they're actual mechanics and shit like that, you know, they're welding and doing all this extra stuff, and I'm like, I ain't got none of that equipment, you know. But it seems so cool to me, and so I'm very excited to keep working on the Suzuki, and hopefully in the future get another project car and work on it. Because as it stands right now, the car I have, like, not me personally, I haven't done any modifications to it, but I've had some stuff done on it. Like, I got a subwoofer in it, I got pinstripes from my boy Stevie, hit him up, all in wraps, and so it's, you know, it's cool. It's all right. It goes fast when you put it in sport mode, but it's nothing to write home about. Yeah, no, that's largely what's been on my mind, is just coming home, watching a Donut Media car mod video, and then just being hyped as hell to work on the Suzuki Samurai. I absolutely love that thing. I hope that we can get it, like, I mean, it works, it runs, it drives, but to get it like really good, have smooth shift transitions like between gears, and then, you know, see how the 4x4 is working. Like, we could take it somewhere here in town, or not too far, probably do a little off-road adventure. I think that would be really cool. Just me and you know.
No, that would be. Sorry, I'm tired.
It's kind of late, yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, that would be really cool. I'm really excited to see it all done. You've just been so happy working on it.
Yeah, and it's not like we're doing anything crazy. Like, don't get me, I feel cool as shit, man. Being under the hood, replacing shit, you know, getting elbow grease in there, just doing real cool stuff, learning about an engine and how it works and how to replace parts. Like, I don't think there's not, I mean, even with my own car, I've fixed things on it, like fixing the Bluetooth, fixing the radio in my car, fixing, what is it? I've fixed other small stuff, like replacing the sun visors by going to like a junkyard and finding a car that has the exact same sun visors as mine and just taking it off. Like things like that are really cool.
Yeah, and then the window too in your car.
The window, oh yeah, it got cracked, so I had to fix that.
No, the one on my side, on the passenger side, it wouldn't go down.
Oh yeah, yeah. I had to pop the door open, and then I ended up just having to buy a new switch. And so yeah, I mean it's things like that. Or I replaced the speakers on my car with the help of my dad though. So I learned that from him, and now I know how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really cool knowing how to fix things on your car, and then it's just one less thing that you have to take it into the shop for. You know, you learn how to do those things, and all of a sudden, just buying the parts as is and installing them yourselves is going to save you hundreds of dollars. So it's been a pretty cool experience just learning things like that, and I'm just so excited to do more and more to the Suzuki. But nah, it's a cool little car, and like I was talking to you earlier, the feeling of shifting between gears is so satisfying, and it's not like the smoothest shifter in the world, but it's so satisfying to click on the clutch and then go from like first to second to third, you know, putting it in reverse and just switching between the various gears just feels so cool. Like it's like I'm like Vin Diesel in that whole like nothing's more important than family like that. Oh my goodness, I love the feeling of it. It's just so nice. But I'm excited to get it onto the road and like actually drive it. But you know, the tires are pretty low on air, so there's a lot to be fixed. It's not quite road ready. Like at all. Like it's not legally ready. There's this fat ass like crack down the front windshield. Oh my goodness. Like we could drive with it, but it obstructs the view pretty bad. Like it's across the entire windshield. And mind you, again, it's not a very big car, so it's very, very distracting. But no, it's really cool. I love it, and I'm very excited to drive it because my grandpa, he's had that thing. I mean, they got it in 1988. My grandma dug up they have all of the paperwork, every part that they bought for it, or like any sort of maintenance, anything. They have all of the receipts, all of the oil change, everything, or not oil changes that my grandpa's always done his own, but he has all of that, like anything, any paperwork or receipts or anything dealing with it. They have it in a folder, and so they actually have the paper with the guy from the dealership, his signature and everything, like what they paid for it, the year, the make, the model, like all of that. So it was really cool to see that. And I was like, damn, that's crazy that y'all still have that. And like, I was small, like elementary school still. And it was in their backyard for the longest time. And they were like, that's going to be yours someday. So he's been telling me it's going to be mine. And so now that we're actually working on it, 20 years later, it's crazy. It feels good.
Yeah.
I feel good. I feel like a badass when I'm under that hood. Just like, yeah. Like I'm working on, I got fucking grime and like oil on my shit. And I'm like, yeah, some real mechanic shit right here. Nah, it's cool. I really enjoy it. And I also enjoy just having the time being spent with my grandpa. It's nice. I enjoy it being with them. I don't always have the opportunity to see them. I feel like ever since I got a job, I haven't been able to see my family as often as I have been, or as I used to before, since sophomore year of high school. So it feels good to just spend time with them. But I also like being on that part of town too, South Side. Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't know, that's like where we used to always go. It was like their house, and then like my other grandparents' house, my home's away from home. If anything, I spent more time at my grandparents', both of their houses, longer than my own. And it was just, it's nice to be on that side of town. It reminds me of my childhood, and like, it's just, I fuck with it. I like it. It's not like it's nice and developed as where we live now, but it's nice still. I really enjoy it. It's a homey feeling, Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what's been on my mind. But also, it's Techtober. A lot of technology, a lot of things being announced, and like I see all these YouTube videos about technology that's coming out, and I love my laptop, don't get me wrong, But man, I'm kind of fiending for a MacBook, specifically the M2 MacBook Air. Like the M2 chip within it is just so powerful, and it doesn't kick in like the jets like on your laptop, right?
Yeah.
Like because your laptop is running an Intel chip, right? It's an Intel core processor, some shit like that. And basically, I guess like that compared to like the Apple Silicon, which is the M2, M1 chips, they run differently. So that's why your jets would kick in, right? Your fans. But with the
Yeah.
M2, they don't have built-in fans because it's a MacBook Air, not a MacBook Pro. But the chip is so efficient that your laptop rarely heats up, and it can handle and process so much. So typically when I process these videos and export them, the MP3 file on this laptop, it takes about 5 to 8 minutes to export, which isn't the worst. But what is the worst? When I get the audio and I create the YouTube waveform on a website called Headliner, and then I take that video and I always label them raw because they haven't been cooked yet per se. I put them into DaVinci Resolve, and then I have an end card that I add, and I change up the music and realign it a little bit. And to export that video, it takes like 45 minutes to an hour. That is so long. And my laptop freezes up, and it's like it sounds like I turned on a lawnmower in my room. It is going so hard, and it takes so much processing power because my laptop isn't built for that. It doesn't have a lot of RAM in it. And for reference, I have a Windows Surface Laptop 3. It gets the job done. It has a very nice screen and the keyboard, real nice typing experience. But for me, like, I don't know, the M2 MacBook Air is slightly smaller, which is what I want. And it has a more efficient chip for content creation. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, is because I'm not comfortable creating the YouTube videos or exporting the audio when we're like at our schools, just because, I don't know if we're going to have enough time. Like we might have to go somewhere, but it's using Wi-Fi, or it's not using Wi-Fi, but like I don't want to have to turn my laptop off, because then that messes with the export. Like even putting it in sleep mode, because it's using so much RAM in the computer, just putting it into sleep mode, like it's not going to do it in the background. So it's to have that ability to just be anywhere, as long as I got a decent internet connection, and to be able to upload and export and do things at a faster pace. Like that's why I'm like, fuck, I kind of want that. So I don't know, because my parents got this laptop for me. They bought it for me as a graduation gift for college, because having a laptop in college is essential at the minimum. But I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot to think about. Like, how much do you think I'd get for selling this laptop? Right? That's what I'm thinking. And then, like, I just don't want to have to pay a lot to then get an M2 MacBook. Because I think the M2 MacBook Air is $1,000. Maybe it's $900. I don't know. It's something like that. So I'm like, if I could get like $800 for this, shit, I don't even know if I want to dish out $200 still. But it's a lot to think about, because it still runs perfectly fine. It's just, for what we're doing, it's not essential, but it would be a huge, how can I, like, there's a term for it.
Asset?
Not an asset. Like, it's something that makes life easier. Anyways, it would make things easier. I'd feel more comfortable doing a lot of the things that I don't do, and I wait till I get home to do them, or like last minute exports and uploads. Like, this computer, it uses so much processing power, so much of the RAM within the laptop to actually export the video, that sometimes it corrupts the file, and then I got to do it all over again. And it's like, my computer is freaking 1,000 degrees because of how hard it's running. And it's just, it's not something that everybody's going to deal with, but because I do all of the editing and everything on this laptop, I feel like I could use a little bit of an upgrade in that regard. Especially if we ever move to video podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Holy buckets. Like, I'm just editing like a 720p, 30 frames per second video. I can't imagine doing like a 4K video or some shit like that, or editing anything like that on this laptop. I tried to edit a Zoom video for school. Oh my goodness, my laptop was freezing up. Because I mean, the Zoom video was like 30 minutes long, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or no, it was like 22 minutes long, and then I think I added like an intro and like a thank you for watching class or whatever.
Like 20 seconds.
That was last semester, and my computer was freezing up like crazy. It just could not handle it. But yeah, excited to work on the car. Kind of wanting to upgrade my laptop. So that's what's on my mind.
Definitely something to look into.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like my parents got this for me, so I'm like, if I sold it, blah. I don't even know if I would want to sell that, right? Like, it's mine. I could do whatever I want with it, but it was a gift. So I just feel bad, like, actually, like, you know.
I get what you mean, but you also got it at a different time.
Mm-hmm.
You thought you were going to go into engineering.
Yeah. I mean, looking back, even now, like, this dude's made a poor recommendation. Like, I don't think this would not be able to handle the CAD software. Like, for if I had gone into engineering, there's no way this laptop would have been able to handle CAD software, especially like bigger files. Like, I remember when I was gonna do engineering, I was not interning, but it was that ISM program in high school, and my mentor gave me a CAD file with Google Earth Pro, and holy shit, just running that and running the like Zoom call for the presentation, I was showing people, and it's like my computer had the fans going so loud. It was so distracting during the presentation. But yeah, that CAD software, just that small snippet of it using in Google Earth Pro was a little too much for my laptop, you know, to run smoothly, especially off of the charger. Like, that's the other thing too, is the battery efficiency is when I'm doing things that are extremely like RAM intensive or like really intense for my computer to handle, it's the battery starts draining like crazy. That's why I bought that brick and that cable, because I needed to have my charger with me. Like, I can't go to school. Like, remember when I used to go with you on Mondays? Like, I had to charge my laptop at some point, because by the middle of the day, my laptop was dead.
Oh, yeah.
So it was, you know, I was doing so much with my computer, and it just couldn't handle being on for as long as it was. I don't know. There's a lot of things that I'm thinking about. So, crazy. But that's what's on my mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot. I didn't think I was going to talk that much.
I mean, it was what on your mind.
Yeah, I hope y'all were keeping up. I was saying some things that, like some terms that hopefully y'all got. To make a long story short, I put a whole bag of jelly beans on my ass. 24 hours later, I ain't seen nothing yet.
That video just stays in my head ever since you showed me.
It's so funny. But yeah. We're at 50 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. I feel like this is a pretty solid place to close it out. What do you think?
Well, I actually got one more thing.
What is it?
Speaking of electronics.
Oh, yeah.
This weekend, I'm getting my new phone.
Yeah.
I used to upgrade my phone like every year.
That's crazy.
And then I stopped because I was like, I don't need to do that.
Yeah, that's bananas every year.
Well,
I know people who do that.
It was like a year, every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd want something different, and my parents would say yes. So, yeah, they weren't stopping me. I wasn't stopping me, but I've stopped myself for the last 4 years, and now it's time to upgrade. I already got the case. Now I just need to go and get the phone. That's gonna be this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
My friend Valeria, I asked her because I really like the blue, the white, and the black.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite color changes too often. So I shouldn't get the blue. I really like pink, but for some reason the pink that they have for the iPhone, it's not the vibe for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like pink, but that one just isn't doing it for me. So I was thinking white or black. I always get a white phone though. I got a black one like once. That was like 8th grade, I think. But
I feel like it doesn't matter because either way you're gonna have a case on it.
I know, but I was thinking, okay, white or black, right?
Yeah.
Do I want to change it up? What do I think? What do I want? So I thought, you know what? Eventually, I'm gonna change my phone again in another 4 years, maybe less. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm gonna get the black one.
Nice.
And my case is sage green, kind of. It's a little darker, but I was digging the green one. So I'm super excited. Sorry, you were talking about like computers, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going this weekend. I'm very happy. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm also tired.
Yeah.
That's on my mind as well. But another thing, it's getting cold.
Oh yeah.
And that's
it's a vibe.
It's it. This is what I've been waiting for.
I know.
We went back to school and it's fall semester and it feels, I almost said something that like you would say. I can't tell you right now.
Okay.
But
tell me off the mic.
Yeah. But I don't know. Sometimes like the remarks you'll say like pop into my head when I'm thinking of something, and I'm like, oh, I can't say that. Anyways, super hot. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now I like this. Now it feels like fall.
I'm really digging the weather. Like, it's been really nice. I've worn my windbreaker a couple times, and like I've been comfortable. So.
Yeah, you look cute in it. So.
Thank you. It's been nice. I hope it's getting cold in the mornings and then at night. So I need it to stay cool during the day, but it's not quite there yet. So.
We're almost there. I'm just really excited. This is my favorite time of the year. I'm ready to get chai lattes like crazy. And I mean, I get like the cold ones, but I want to get the hot ones. It tastes like Christmas in a cup. So I'm very excited.
Me too.
Everything is just, it's finally the time of the year.
It's all coming together.
Yes. Halloween is in 2 weeks. Our costume is going to be crazy. I can't wait.
I'm excited.
That was it. That was all I had.
That was what was on our minds. But yes, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for tuning in to the podcast. Be sure to follow us on our socials at Live with JM Pod on Twitter and Instagram. I know I mentioned it at the end of last episode, but I'm going to mention it again. Our Facebook profile is disabled. So we do have the option to reactivate it at some point. But will we do that? I don't know. So our name, the page name itself is still saved. So that's why I decided to disable it rather than shut it down. But, for the time being, we're not going to be active on Facebook. If you liked our pages, you won't be able to find us. But yeah, so follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Live with JM Pod. If you're listening on YouTube, thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment down below. What's on your mind? How's your life been going? Hopefully good. If bad, I pray for you. But yes, thank y'all for tuning in. We will catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.